Hey everyone, in this video, we're going to be focusing on reflections, okay? So this first part here is your reflections notes. I want you guys to have your notebooks out and your pencils. You do not need a calculator in this video. And we're going to write this stuff down. The first thing that you're going to write is that if we reflect across the x-axis, we're going to change our y, okay? And then the second thing you're going to write is if we reflect across the y-axis, we're going to change the x. All right. So what I mean by this is we're going to change the opposite of what they ask for. So if they ask for x, we're changing y. If they ask for y, we're changing x. And this will make complete sense when we move on. But right now, I want you guys to pause the screen and make sure you have these notes written down. When you're done, press play and it will be on the next screen. Okay. So now what I want you guys to do before we go through these examples, I know we're writing a lot right now, and it's okay. You don't have to write much more after this here. But this, I want this in your notes. It's examples. So I want you to write the word examples, and I want you to write everything that I have in this box right here. Okay. And then we're going to also show our work on the side. So go ahead and pause and get this written down. And once you're done writing it down, press play and we'll start to go through our three examples. So reflections are simply just a mirror image. When you look in the mirror, you see your reflection, right? So over here, we have two pictures of two right triangles. They are a mirror image of one another. They are a reflection. If we fold down this red line here and we fold our paper along that line, both triangles will match one another. Okay? They will be exactly the same. It will be a mirror image. Okay, so let's actually go through some examples in what we're going to do when we see this kind of stuff. All right, so it says we have 3 comma 4. So let's go ahead and label our 3 our X. Now we should know our X and Y's by now, right? And 4 is our Y. Okay, so we're on this first one right now. It says to reflect across the y-axis. We're reflecting across the y-axis. Okay, so when we reflect across the y-axis, we change the opposite thing. What's opposite of y? X. So we're going to just change our x. So watch what I do. Okay, we have 3 comma 4 right now. But if we reflect it across the y-axis, we're going to change the x here. So if it's positive 3 right now, what's the opposite of positive 3? Negative 3. That's all we have to do. Okay? So if it reflects across the y, we just change the sign on the x. If the x was positive, we turn it negative. If the x was negative, we turn it positive. Does that make sense? We're just doing the opposite. Okay? Let's try this next one here. Our x and our y, we have -2 and +7. Now let's read what they want us to do. They want us to reflect across the y-axis. What's opposite of y? Your x. So what's the opposite of -2? +2. We're done. Isn't that easy? Really easy, right? I know y'all were like, this is about to be a lot. Nope, it's really not. We just changed the sign of the opposite thing. So let's look at this one here. We have -8 and we have -9. I'm just going to write it out. Now, if those of you who may not remember your X and Y, you can actually label it each time just so you know. Okay, your first number is always your X, the second number is always your Y. This time they want us to reflect across the X axis. So if we're reflected across the X, what do you think we're going to change? Right, our Y. So right now our Y is -9. What's the opposite of -9? +9. Okay, too easy. We are done. New answers are all right here. That's a +9, guys. Okay, hopefully this makes sense. Let's go through some more examples together real quick. Look at this one here. This time, I want you guys to look at the screen. I want you to write this out, okay? And I want you to try these on your own. Okay? If you're still a little bit lost, you can just let the video keep playing and you can follow along with me for one or two and then pause it and try on your own. Okay? So let's see. This first one here, you do not have to write where it says you try in your notebook. You don't have to write that down. I want you to just write down these ordered pairs and you can write the words reflect across the y-axis. You can just write the words I'm underlining. Reflect across the y-axis. Okay? And then you write these ordered pairs down and then you do the work. Same here. Reflect across the x-axis. Write your ordered pairs and then reflect them across the x-axis. Okay? Now, for those of you, once again, that are confused, just keep following along with me. All right? So let's reflect this first ordered pair, 1 comma 2, across the y-axis. So I'm just going to label my stuff right quick. I have x and I have y. Okay? And you can actually do that to each one just so you don't get confused. You just, it'll just come easy to you because you already have them labeled and you're changing the opposite thing. Okay? And I could try to make this even easier. Watch what I do. Okay? It says reflect across the y-axis. What is it asking for? Your y-axis. So look, I'm not looking at this. I'm just going to write this down. I'm going to write my y-axis down. Let's write all of our y's because our y's are going to stay the same. The y is in the question, and whatever's in the question is going to stay the same. We're only changing the opposite thing. So look, the opposite of +1 is -1. Okay? The opposite of -10 is +10. So whatever it asks you for, write it down. That can make it easier too. Okay? Across the y-axis, so I'm just going to write my y down because that's what it's asking me to reflect across. And what's the opposite of 0? Can we change 0? There's no -0. We're just going to write 0. That stays the same. Okay? Let's look at this one here. Across the y-axis, which one is y? -3. So -3 is going to stay the same. And I'm going to change my +6. What is the opposite of +6? -6. Okay? So you see how quick we reflected across our y-axis? All we did was change the sign on all of our x's. Okay? So now that you see me do that, for those that struggled, pause the video now and you on your own try to reflect across the x-axis. If you already did it on your own, just let the video keep playing and see if you got it right. Okay? So let's just label these right quick. We have our x, our y. I'm just going to label all of these very quickly. And if at this time, if you don't have these written down, you could be writing them down. All right. So it says reflect the following across the x-axis. That means all my x's are staying the same because that's what it's asking for in the question, my x's, to reflect across the x-axis. So my x is 6 here. It stays the same. Can we change 0? Nope. That's going to stay the same. Okay. What about this one? My x stays the same. We're reflecting across the x-axis. And the y changes. What is the opposite of -4? +4. We're just changing the opposite. So reflecting across the x-axis, the x is in the question, this here. So this here, the x is going to stay the same in all of our ordered pairs. Okay, the y is going to change. So -16 is staying the same. And the y is going to change. What is the opposite of +3? -3. Let's look here. Our 4 stay the same, reflecting across our x-axis. What is the opposite of -7? +7. Okay. So hopefully this made sense and hopefully Miss Brown made it a little bit easier for you. Reflecting across your x or y axis. If we reflect across our y axis, the x changes. If we reflect across the x axis, our y changes. Okay. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel